Good afternoon, Coolest Coast. It's time for Coffee on the Coast. Good afternoon, Coolest Coast. Welcome to this episode of Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host today, Tina Prigge. Laura Schreiner joins us again from Manitowoc Public Library, which means it's an episode of Book Banter. Hi, Laura.
Hi, it's been too long, Tina. It's good to see you.
It's been so long, but you know what? It gave me an opportunity to read some of your previous recommendations.
Okay.
And on a previous show, you had recommended My Friends by
Yes.
somebody
Bachman. Yep.
Yeah.
Bachman. Frederick Bachman. Yep.
Yes, that's it. I
Mhm.
absolutely loved it. I
It's
listened to
good.
the audio version of it, and
Yes.
from the first sentence, I was hooked. Just like
Were you?
the
Okay.
style, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my new favorite books, I think.
It's really, really good. Yeah. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love
And I
it.
just have to say, without your recommendation, I might never have looked twice at it. So thank
Oh,
you.
you probably would have come to it anyway, but it's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So awesome. So, are you reading something currently?
I am. Oh, I've just started Buckeye, which is set in Ohio. It starts during World War II. Some people said it was the best book of 25. I'm maybe a tenth of the way into it. It's pretty good. It's quite good. I will talk about it next month.
Okay.
Either way, because it's fairly highly touted. Either it is or isn't my thing, but I do like it so far. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Historical fiction?
It starts that way. I think it's going to segue into the present. I don't know if it's going to be linear, though. I really don't know. I'm kind of early on. I don't really know. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I just started listening to a book, and I was so excited because it's one of your recommendations today, Commonwealth by
Yay.
Ann Patchett.
Yeah.
So I just started listening to this maybe 3 or 4 days ago, so I'm not
Okay.
terribly far in.
Sure.
But so far, I mean, I'm a fan of Ann Patchett, so
Right.
intrigued, but so I'm super interested to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah. So I was just telling my office mate before I came up here, I don't know how far, if you're far enough into it, you have to get into it maybe a little way. I think the parenting in this book is terrible. The parents are terribly disrespectful and just don't care much about their children's feelings. I don't know if you've gotten that far. Maybe that's just me thinking that, but they leave a lot to be desired as parents. Really not good.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I've just gotten to the point of people are already behaving kind of badly.
Yeah. And the bad behavior is one thing, but to just disregard your children's feelings whatsoever, just keep telling yourself, oh, the kids are fine. The kids are fine. They really don't care if the kids are fine. They don't really care. They care if they're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I have a problem.
Selfish, yeah.
Yeah, I have a problem with that kind of selfishness in adults because the kids are relying on them. That's not fair. It's just not fair. But it's
Is
a great
that kind
book.
of the focus of this book? Does it work through those?
So do you know what happens in this book without, I don't think it's a big spoiler. It comes around to this is a book within a book. There's a movie made of the story of the families. The fictional account of the stories of the families it's made into a movie by someone else who has taken up romantically with one of the kids in the story as an adult. And then she tells him her family story, this blended story, how things went. And someone turns it into a movie. And then the other principals in the story are not super happy that their life is being put out there in a movie theater.
Oh.
It's much later. And, it's not like the whole world knows who they are, but the people involved definitely know it's about them. So it's kind of a book within a book. Yeah. It's really well done. I did not know that going in. I just grabbed this on, where did I grabbed it on Libby because it was available right then and I needed something to listen to. And I like Ann Patchett. So I start listening. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I liked it. But near the end, you realize, someone has taken liberty with their family's history, told the story to someone who turned it into a book and then turned it into a movie. And everybody else isn't overjoyed about it.
Not at all. Did they change their names? Was it?
Yeah, it doesn't give their names. So if you don't know, you don't necessarily know, like the whole world hasn't figured out. It's not like the Kardashians or anything like that, but they can still remain anonymous, but they know very well it's them. And they're not so happy with their sister and or stepsister, maybe, for putting it all out there.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting to know now that I'm listening.
It is. And maybe it's not too much of a spoiler. I don't think I'm not going to tell you any of the specifics, but yeah.
Okay. So what do you like about Ann Patchett? Like the few books I've read by her, I've enjoyed her style. Right. I can't put my finger on what it is. Like what sets her writing?
I don't know either because she writes all over the place. Like Tom Lake is very different.
Yeah.
Bel Canto is different. Run is different. This is her 7th book. She is writing her 10th. Is coming out in June called Whistler. And that's got a horse on the cover, but I don't know much about it. something about her characters. I don't always like them. I really don't think some of them are very good people.
Right.
They're real. And I think there's this underlying current of, we know this isn't really right. We know it's right. But yeah, people make mistakes, and it seems authentic. It always seems authentic. I like her settings, like the Tom Lake is set in. Have you read Tom Lake?
I did.
Yeah,
I really
Tom
like
Lake
that
is
one. Yeah.
set in Michigan, summer stock. Yeah, so that one's really good too. But I did like Commonwealth. It was not what I expected at all. And like I said, I didn't care for the parenting. The more it went on, I was like, these people are really awful parents. And I really just want to shake them and say, your kids are struggling and you don't care. Like the kids were completely unattended. It was 2 kids from one family, 4 kids from the other family. The parents got together in a very strange situation at a christening of all places. As 2 couples barely knew each other. They take up and they don't care. Like they abandon their first families. They really don't care if the kids get along or not. It's like, well, you're going to be spending summers together. Figure it out,
So I'm in the midst of the christening scene right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
And, what you say about the kids, it's interesting because in that scene, the mom of this little baby
Mhm.
just passes the baby off to a guy she doesn't really know at this
No.
party with all these people. Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
would never let my baby out of my sight.
I know. And there's just this kind of like laissez-faire about the kids. Like, oh, yeah, they're fine. They're all fine. And, surely people make mistakes. I don't mean that at all. That everyone has to be perfect. But
Right.
down the line, when you find out some things that happen, they're pretty horrific. And they would have been avoidable if parents would have been paying attention and the kids weren't left to their own devices.
Okay.
So then,
Do you think it's a good story to go through? It's like worth.
I do. Oh, I definitely do. I definitely do. But it's memorable for the fact to me that the parents are so flawed, and the kids are doing the best they can. And then, like I said, there's some really very negligent parenting that leads to a death. There is an actual death at one point, and it's really, really, really sad. I mean, you end up caring though. I mean, it's not the happiest book you'll ever read. It's not, but.
I wouldn't say that any of her books so far that I've read have been the happiest. It sort of focuses in on, a little situation of some kind and explores it deeply.
Right. And most of these things, like so many things in life, could have gone a different direction. Just one little nuance, and it went a whole different way.
So do you know why it's called Commonwealth?
Why is it called Virginia? Because the kids grew up in Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia. I think is why. And the movie, I think then that's made is called Commonwealth. I believe I read this a little while ago, but I believe that's because at first too, I was like, where is Commonwealth coming from? But that's
okay. Yeah. Because all the explanation that you gave us, I can't.
Because I think you're probably at the point where they're still in California, but then they end up moving across the country. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, let's see, is this a little blurb? Okay. So told with equal measures of humor and heartbreak, Commonwealth is a meditation on inspiration, interpretation, and the ownership of stories. It's a brilliant and tender tale of the far-reaching ties of love and responsibility that bind us together. Mm-hmm. Ooh, does that sum it up well?
That does. The fact is, that your responsibility in some cases. Yeah, it's just, I just want to take these people and say, look around you at these kids. They're not really okay. You're just saying, well, I married his, mom and dad married each other, and now you have to like these strangers. I don't know. And they're young kids yet. It's not like the parents are adults and the kids really never live together. The kids are very much at young ages where they're forced to live together, at least in summer, spend a lot of time with total strangers. And the one mother's a terrible, terrible parent. I won't say anymore, but yeah.
When is it set? I didn't figure that out yet.
It's set in the 60s. It starts in the 1960s.
Okay.
So it's that era. And then it comes forward. But yeah, there's the 2 kids from one family, the 4 from the other family. And I like the kids. There's some mischief. Some of them are a little more high-spirited, whatever. They're kids. I get that. They're also being forced in a situation they have no control over. Here, make it work. Because, but it makes you think. And, what I love about Ann Patchett too, she owns that bookstore, Parnassus Books in Nashville, which I would love to go to sometime. She is a book person. She is a book person through and through. And I love that about her.
I've got another book by her on hold on my Libby's list, and it's something Wonder. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I don't know the title of all of them. State of Wonder? Is it
State of Wonder?
Yeah. State of Wonder?
Yeah.
I did not read that one. No. But she writes many different types of stories. They're all great. And like I said, she has the new one coming out. I have a segue here a little bit, maybe into another book, if you don't mind my hijacking the order.
I love it.
Okay, so she has written a testimonial that's on the cover of The Correspondent, the new epistolary, which is the debut by this Virginia Evans. See right up there, A Cause for Celebration, Ann Patchett. Right up there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just finished this book and I actually enjoyed it. So,
Did you?
but rewind. You said?
Epistolary?
Yes, teach me
It's
this
written,
word.
it's written in the form of letters back and forth.
That's what
So that-
epistolary
Yeah,
means?
yep.
Cool. Thank
And
you.
there are some people, unfortunately, that I think are avoiding this one because they say they don't like books written in that form. I don't know though. It really flows. It really flows.
I almost avoided it when I
Yeah.
heard that was the format because I
See,
thought,
people don't always love that. I know.
I don't want to read somebody else's letter, but
Mhm.
don't let that dissuade you.
No,
It doesn't feel like it's a letter.
I agree. It does
a
not.
true story unfolding.
Right.
The
Right.
letters are just the device
Right.
used, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That main character evolves so much during her life. Did you feel that way? I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but
Yeah.
I thought, boy, did she evolve. She just started at one point and over her life. And she wrote a letter to Ann Patchett too. She had that one of her correspondents was Ann Patchett, remember?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Also Diana Gabaldon, who wrote Outlander, which is one of my favorites. That's neither here nor there. And Larry, I mean, that's not here or there, just coincidental. I love her observations on Outlander, though. She also writes a really passionate letter to Larry McMurtry about Lonesome Dove, which is the favorite of a lot of other people that I know. So, man, she's a wonderful character, isn't she? I just love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I wish that book had gone on and on. I
Yeah,
didn't want it to end.
I wasn't prepared for it to end. I
No,
wasn't
same.
prepared for it to start at first. And I thought, oh, somebody else said it was great. I'll give it a
Yeah.
flyer.
Yep.
And I'm so glad I listened to the audio and it was a great performance of it.
I bet it was. I read the large print, which was, even for large print, it's not a large book. It's really it's not a lengthy book. It just packs a lot in. What did you think of that letter that they kept alluding to? She started this letter and she keeps adding to it. I didn't know what to make of that at first. And then that
I had assumed it was going to be to her husband, and I was wrong.
I would have assumed same. Yeah.
And I think I cried a little bit when I figured it out.
I think you could care. Yeah, I was very emotional. I don't know if I cried actually, but boy, there were times I was just kind of gutted by this book. Yeah.
It's very heartfelt, and the growth that you see.
The growth is
so valuable.
Incredible. And this is a debut. This writer, Virginia Evans, was struggling to be published. And I think of all the books she had written, I think she had the least hope for this one. She was used to rejection. And then this one became the book of the year. Everybody's talking about it. Do you know what the cover reminds me of? Little segue here. Those two birds sitting on the fence. It kind of reminds me of The Help. Do you remember the cover of The Help? There's two birds like on a wire going way back to The Help. Like the birds.
I wish I had it to pull up.
Yeah. I just thought of that right now, looking at it. I'm like, that reminds me of the cover of The Help. I hadn't looked at it till right now.
I think too, what I love about the book is, so she's got so many different relationships, and you see how she corresponds with these different relationships.
Right.
I love that she even has this relationship with the customer service guy.
I know, isn't that great?
And I was like, first thinking, please don't get scammed. Please don't get scammed.
I know.
It ends up being meaningful.
It really does.
She could easily choose the wrong kind of a love relationship. And I'm so glad she doesn't, right? I'm really happy with the direction she takes.
I know. She's really charming. She seems very crusty at first, very like, she's kind of like a curmudgeon, but wow, there's a lot of heart there. It was well buried, I guess, but I thought she was great. We're back.
Caught me out for a second. Sorry about that.
Right, that's okay. Cool. We're back. I just have to say, I did love this book, and I would recommend it to just about everybody. In fact, we have a lot of us at the library telling everyone about it. It's so good.
Are people doing this one as a book club? I could see this being an excellent book club read.
We actually have a book discussion kit, a bag with the 10 books in that is, meant to support book kits clubs. We have maybe 4 or 5 people waiting for it already. So it's just going to go through book clubs as much as possible. It's very good.
Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Okay, I have not read any of the others that you have for us today. You want to move on to All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker?
You may have talked about the one of his older ones. This is his most recent one. He has written 5 books. This is the 5th. He had also written We Begin at the End, which you may have talked about some time ago with Therese. I think you did. She loved that book.
It's funny that you bring up Therese because when I read the description of this, I
Mhm.
thought, oh, this is one I think Therese would read.
Yeah. I think she's read and loved it. We've talked about this. I believe she and I, we talk a lot about books. Oh, wow. It's set in the Ozarks of Missouri. It came out in 2024, but it's set in 1970s Ozarks. It's got so much going on. It talks about trauma, survival, complexities of human relationships, small town in Missouri in the 1970s. The main character is a young boy named Patch. He was born with just one eye, so he wears a patch. He intervenes to save a young girl who is being attacked by a person. It turns out this person, and there's a lot of there's young women are being disappeared or taken from this town. There's a lot of fear around that. This young boy comes upon a girl he's got a crush on, and she's being attacked, and he saves her, and things kind of go from there. He's a poverty-stricken kid. The girl he saves is very wealthy. They form a friendship. They form a lifelong friendship. But in this book, there's a lot going on. There's people are being held against their will. Kids. It's dark. I'm not gonna, when they say all the colors of the dark, it's on the dark side. Yeah, it's really, really good. I will say that, but it's very much on the dark side. Chris Whitaker, I think, has kind of a difficult past. The author has had a difficult past, so I think he's writing a little bit of what he knows. It's a long book. It's very involved. It's, to be truthful, it's probably not for everybody. It's not a cozy mystery at all. It's definitely a mystery. It's maybe a commentary on America at that time, racial things, all sorts of things. But it is not the most it's a really great book, but it's not the happiest. Yeah.
Even in the end, like
I mean, it resolves okay. It resolves okay. There's reason to be hopeful, and there's some really good people involved, and there's some beautiful relationships. And then this Patch is a really, really lovely character. He's a really neat kid, but he's had some hard scrabble things happen to him, some choices he made, but he's always growing, he's always learning, and he's a really good person at heart. You're rooting for him. And then you're like, tell me you didn't just do that. Why did you do that? But if you're him, you see why he does it, you know.
Oh no.
It kind of like, you know, who he is informs what he does, where you look at it and go, he shouldn't have done that. Why did he do that? Well, I'm not him, you know.
Right.
But you can still feel very deeply for him and the people involved. And he's, you know, who he reminds me a little bit of is Demon Copperhead. If you read Demon Copperhead.
Oh, yep.
That kind of child who a little bit has to raise himself, poverty, single mom who's not able to give them what they need because she's trying to survive. I see some parallels there a little bit. And I like those kind of characters where they find it within themselves against all odds to somehow prevail in some ways. It's not a straight line.
Comes from within, right?
Right. It's not a straight line. It's not all happy. It's not all, oh, everything was wonderful for them. It wasn't, but they find something, you know, in themselves. And I think that's always admirable.
So you're left really thinking about this one.
For sure. And it is a long book. It's a long book. It took me a long time to get through it. I listened to this one. It was really well done. But it's Chris Whitaker writes a really, really impactful story. This is his 5th book. And I would definitely go back maybe at some point and read his other ones because he writes a great story.
I think there's a little blurb. Wait, hold on. Let's see.
Sure. Probably is.
Okay. Yeah. Kristen Hanna, an
Right.
author I really enjoy.
Sure.
Said, kept me frantically turning the pages and somehow made me cry at the end.
Yep.
Brava.
Yeah. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of suspense, but there's also love and loyalty and some really beautiful things. It's balanced, I guess. But again, you know, I would probably warn people. It's a little gritty. It's a little bit gritty, you know.
Did you feel emotional near the end too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I do. I get really involved in people's. I have to tell myself they're not real. This isn't really happening. But a really skilled writer can make you care that much and feel like they're that real, that you're like in that world. And then when it ends, you're like, what? Now what do I do? I miss those people. You know, that happens.
You end up carrying them with you, right?
I know, right? Exactly.
I kind of feel that way about the book My Friends we were just talking about.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
They're still rolling around in my head a bit.
They're probably always going to be there in some ways, and that's okay. That's okay, because I think you grow too as you have these experiences and see what someone else has done. It only enhances your life.
Right.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the magic of reading.
Right.
Okay. I thought that Therese might like this book too. All the Sinners Bleed.
She loves this author. She loves this author. So he wrote something, and again, super gritty. Um, yeah, this one's on steroids. Again, it's kind of graphic. It's basically a racial thing set in a small town. So good, so good. Lots of action. It gets a little graphic, and I don't mean spicy graphic. I mean there's violence there to an end. It's not just gratuitous, but yeah, Teresa loves this author. She loved Razorblade Tears, which was also one of his books. We might have talked about that one
I
too.
remember hearing about that one.
Yep,
Okay,
yep. So this is a black sheriff, the first black sheriff in his county in Virginia. And under his watch, first year,
the Commonwealth of Virginia.
yeah, there you go. Because see, look at it tied together. I keep forgetting it was Virginia. I kept thinking it was more deep south than that, and I'd always have to take myself back and go, "This is Virginia, not." I don't know. I thought it was Georgia or Alabama. I don't know why. I knew it wasn't. He's a very heroic guy. He's been made sheriff. He's the first African American sheriff in his town's history. He's not very popular among a certain crowd. Early on in the book and in his tenure as sheriff, there's a school shooting. And I think I can say this, the shooter is killed. The shooter's an African American young man. He comes out of the school holding the gun. A white deputy feels threatened and kills him. There's no trial. There's no what happened here. There's no why did this happen, any of this. He's just African American killed by a white person. It just ignites racial tensions like crazy. So there's a lot of that. And there's a really ugly undercurrent going through this town, but nobody knew it. People, the teacher who was killed by the student, people are like, why would he do that? This super beloved teacher, everyone loved him. Turns out that teacher had some really dark secrets. That the young man who did the shooting, it wasn't really a school it happens in a school, but it wasn't about school. It wasn't any students. It was about this person targeting this teacher who had done him very wrong, not in school. Heavy. It's heavy stuff.
This sounds heavy.
It's heavy. It was a bestseller. It's nominated for tons of prizes. Hard to put it down, hard to look away, but also a little bit, it's hard. It's a hard read. But I think it's really, really worth it. They call it an atmospheric pressure cooker is one commentary I saw. And that's pretty accurate. A black sheriff, a serial killer, a small town ready to combust. And it does.
And so where does it take you? What's the journey like? And where does it bring you? What's the resolution?
It's super, I hate to say it, but it's not popular, but it's a white supremacist thing against African Americans, and it's wanting to tear down a statue, in the community. And I don't want to give too much away, but the gentleman, the Sheriff Titus, ends up in a pretty good place for him. Considering he's got a relationship with a lady going on, and there's a touch of spice, just a little spice, not very much, just a little, enough to keep it interesting. You're rooting for that relationship. Ultimately, that relationship kind of is doomed for various reasons, but he's super likable. As dark as this story is, the sheriff himself, Titus, is a wonderful character, super heroic, I think, and he does okay. He does all right. There's resolution, but it's like I said, there's, correspondence pretty pleasant, comparatively light, I guess. Commonwealth, a little bit light. This one's, yeah, gritty, pretty gritty. Yeah.
Let's see, is this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it says Lazar White masterfully portrays people of multiple races, old and young. He also delivers Cosby's reflections on family, grief, and faith with genuine introspection and without distracting from the tense plot lines. Yeah. This is a gripping, timely tale, beautifully told.
Yeah. It's Stephen King has said he keeps the pedal to the metal throughout the story. That's a really, really, really good description of it. It's unforgettable. I don't remember every specific thing. I listened to it months ago. Very well done audiobook. Boy, I ended up caring about this Titus so much, just caring so much and rooting so hard for him. And it's good, really good.
I like to hear that you feel connected to a character, that you're rooting for somebody, right? Because we've talked about a few books kind of recently where you're like, there's just not even a character to get behind here.
Not at all, no. And I don't like those because, I don't really care what happens to any of them.
Right.
And here you care so deeply about Titus. And like I said, there's a really dark, ugly thing going on in that town. And some of it's couched a little bit behind religion. And, it's kind of people could probably draw some parallels to other things that have gone on over time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually a little topical. It is written, I think, in 24. Yeah, it was written in 24. Yeah.
Does it help digest anything in current events?
I think if you're willing to think and pay attention, I think it can help you handle some things and look at them differently. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes you have to be a little uncomfortable. I think when you're reading a book, I don't mind being a little uncomfortable.
That's the way we stretch, right? That's how you grow when you read a book. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've had book discussions here at the library. Everyone loves the book. There's nothing to talk about. We now have nothing to say because everyone's like, yeah, that was such a good book. It was really good. And then just nod your head. Yep. Yep. It was good. Unanimous. You'd think that's great. Well, not really. There should be a little something there to get you thinking.
Right,
you know,
right.
And it's okay to have a light read too. We call them palate cleansers. We've talked about that. This is not one of those. This is not a palate cleanser at all. No.
So maybe if you start with this one, then maybe follow it with
you
the
might want
correspondence.
to. I think that would be a great contrast. Yeah.
All right, we've got one more.
Sure.
This is Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. Broken Country. Sorry.
Have you read this one?
I have not.
Okay, I was talking to Margot, one of my office mates, before I came up here. She's not read it yet. I was trying to figure out. It's not really classified as a mystery, but there is a mystery. It's set in the English countryside. This one is really. This was one of the books of the year too. It was kind of the ones that were talked about were The Correspondent, Broken Country, Wild Dark Shore, if you remember that one.
Oh, that was such a good one. That was a very good one. Yeah.
And then Buckeye. Those 4 or 5 books, I kept seeing the same 4 or 5 books rise to the top, and I want to read all of them. So that's where I'm going with Buckeye. We'll talk next month. But this one is, wow, there is, at the end, I was just reeling. I just could not believe it. This is our 3rd book, Claire Leslie Hall. This one, as it says, it's, here's the teaser. The farmer's dead. He is dead, and all anyone wants to know is who killed him. And that's the start of it. So it's set on a woman named Beth. She's married to this really nice man named Frank. They're happily married. They have a sheep farm. There's nice, idyllic English countryside life. It starts with the shooting of a dog by Frank's brother. Frank and his brother farm together. This dog is attacking their herd. So I guess, I mean, you kind of understand it. I can't stand to see a dog being shot, but they don't dwell on it. They really don't dwell on it about the specifics. But, you can't have an animal come in and kill your herd.
No,
so I get that. Okay.
That's their livelihood. Yeah.
Right. So I guess stopping the attack is okay. It turns out the dog that's attacking is the dog of Claire's the author. Beth is the character. Claire's the author. I love both names. So Beth's ex had left this little town as a teenager, gone off, and she marries the local farmer. Okay, but she had this very, very passionate relationship as a teenager with this Gabriel, who comes back to the area, very wealthy. He owns the manor next to her little farm. It's his son's dog that is killed in the act of killing their sheep. So one of the things that I just love, whereas I had read this statement saying the gunshot, as upsetting as it is, no one realizes how it's going to alter the course of several lives. Turns out, as you go through the book, Beth and her husband, Frank, have lost a son who's about the same age as the boy who owns this dog.
Who's the son of her former
yeah.
Okay.
Right. So Beth starts to tutor, kind of mentor this little boy because her ex's wife is in America and he's kind of in need of a mother, caretaker, whatever. She starts spending time with this little boy who's her ex's son. Her husband is not really happy about it because now she's spending more time. This is not going to go well. A whole lot of things happen. Again, choices, the woman she used to be, the woman she's become, the old love, the really wonderful new love. And even the old love is a nice enough guy, all things considered, that their lives, he was very wealthy, she wasn't, but he's a nice enough guy. Like, you don't hate him. He's not awful. Her husband is lovely. Like, you have to love him. He's fantastic. which way is she going to go here? Someone's going to get hurt. She's missing her son, and this little boy is kind of like a substitute, if you will, for the son she's lost. Her husband realizes what she's doing. He's trying to get her to spend less time over there at her ex's place, so on and so forth. Some really awful things happen. It is a sweeping love story. It's a thriller. There's simmering passion. The ending is just, you can't believe it. I will say this. There's a trial about someone's killed a human, not the dog. Someone else is killed in an act of, if not passion, very heated emotion.
Oh no.
And you don't know who did it. As a reader, you do not know who did it.
Even at the end?
Until about the last couple of pages. And you are just literally never saw it coming. I like to think I can figure some things out. Like there were some clues. I really didn't see it coming. I really didn't. And I'm not the only one. It was kind of the unanimous opinion. I never saw that ending coming. But it doesn't look like that kind of book. It doesn't look like it's this suspenseful thriller, but it really is. It's also a love story. It's a kind of neat exposure to the English countryside. It's very, very good. I can see why people loved it so much. It's very good.
Is it set in modern day, or is it?
Yeah, it's set in modern day. Yeah.
And it sounds like, the decisions people are making from an outside perspective, you're like, oh, don't make that, you know what I mean?
That's not smart right now. That's not smart what you're doing. Right.
Yeah. But that's why it's valuable to walk with a character.
It
going
is.
through something like that, right? To understand how enmeshed you can become and how bad decisions can happen. Oh,
sure. To good people. Basically, good people will make really not very good decisions and then pay a huge price. And so will some of the other people they loved. Pay a huge price for just really a lapse in judgment, whatever you want to say. So it's a really good book.
Did Therese read this one?
I don't know if Teresa's read this one. I haven't really talked to a lot of people who've read this one for some reason. I had to wait a long time to get it. I read it in large print. It's very good.
Is it relatively new?
Yeah, it just came out in 25.
Oh,
okay. Really, it's really very good. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, do you prefer reading in large print, or do you read large print because that's what's available?
No, I love large print. I will wait for a large print copy just because by the time I get to read it later at night, my eyes are tired and I'm just going to do much better with the large print's more crisp on a page. It's just less stressful. And I don't know, the pages go faster, of course, because the text is bigger, so you feel like, wow, I'm really getting through this book. I love it. It's much easier to read than some of the small print I just struggle with at my age. I really do.
Yeah, no, that's nice to know. And it's nice to know that the library has large format available.
We have so much in large print. Incredible.
Even in brand new books. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that don't ever come out in large print, of course, but most of your mainstream stuff will come out. And to me, it's worth the wait. I find reading so much more enjoyable when I can actually see the letters. It goes much better like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're reading along and you think you've read a word and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
That's not what it says. I can't read the page. What is that page number? I can't even read it. It's too small. Well, they need to make this bigger. Guess what? They do make it bigger. It's called large print.
I was reading recently, there was a book and it was, something, and I read it as garbage, and I kept going. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I went back. It was like, oh, it was garage.
Oh, that one letter wasn't in there. Oh, silly you, Tina. You're so silly. Yeah, that's the beauty. Yep. Here. Okay. This is true. Yep.
Reese Witherspoon said, "Broken Country" by Claire Leslie Hall is an unforgettable story of love, loss, and the choices that shape our lives, but it's also a masterfully crafted mystery that will keep you guessing until the very last page. Seriously, that ending, I did not see it coming.
Yeah, Reese and I did not see that coming, and I don't think we're the only ones. It's almost worth reading it just to get to the very end and go, wow. You don't often find yourself completely surprised like that did not just happen.
And so sometimes it's frustrating when you can't solve the mystery because they just absolutely gave you no insight, no clues, nothing.
Right.
It's not frustrating like that, is it?
No, not like that. Not like that. It's just, and part of my thing too is I ended up caring so much about everybody. I was hoping none of them did it. Obviously someone did something, but I really didn't want it to be any of them because I liked them all in their own way. I think they were all good people in a bad situation with terrible potential outcomes. Not a lot of good was going to come out of this once the ex comes back to town. She was living a pretty nice life, except for, of course, for the tragic death of her son. And I don't mean to belittle that. But she and her husband were kind of doing okay. They had come to terms, they were getting by, and then her ex comes back. Thank you very little, ex. Did he really need to do that? You know, I mean, but, and the little boy, his son is charming, wonderful little kid. No wonder she loves him. She'd have loved him no matter what. You know, it's the gunshot killing the dog sets everything into, yeah. And again, I hate it when dogs die. I'm a huge dog lover. I cannot stand when animals die in a book, but they don't, that is, I wouldn't say it's glossed over, but it's not the focal point at all, You quickly move. You can kind of see it if you're a farmer. I'm sure you understand that you can't have your wild animals or animals killing your livestock. I get that.
Yeah. Just like if there was a fox in the hen house or something.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
exactly. You can't have that. So I get that. And it's like the dog was never really personified to the point that like you felt so much from it. It's very early in the book. Eventually there's another dog, in fact, that becomes a very beloved family member. And that part's cool, I think, too. So, yeah.
Hey, you know, speaking of animals, have you read the book Racing in the Rain?
Yes.
I love that book.
Oh,
That's another book that I was like, what? I was going to give a pass to. And I listened to the audiobook and I absolutely love it.
I know. It was fantastic, wasn't it? And the cover with that golden retriever. Who doesn't love a golden retriever, right? I mean, beautiful book. Beautiful.
But I don't love them enough that I wanted to hear a book in the golden retriever's perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like, I almost missed it.
Yeah.
Because I had that like quick knee-jerk reaction and I'm so glad I listened to it.
Well, it's kind of like Remarkably Bright Creatures. I didn't think I wanted to hear a story from an octopus's perspective either, but turns out I did, you know. So never say never, right?
Right. So many good options. All right. So Laura, you had some great recommendations for us today. Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Crosby, All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker, Commonwealth by Anne Pratchett, and The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. Thank you so much for not only reading, but coming on to share these recommendations with us.
I've missed you the last couple of months. This is a happy day for me, so thank you.
Let's do it again next month.
I think we will. I hope so anyway. Yeah.
All right. My guest today, Laura Schreiner from Manitowoc Public Library. I'm your host, Tina Prigge, for this episode of Book Banter on Coffee on the Coast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.